Welcome back. This is part 3 of 8 about Officer Development School. Today we're going to talk about Officer Development School, staterooms, bedrooms, and the head, bathrooms. The first thing that you should probably know is a little bit of terminology. A stateroom, like I mentioned previously, is going to be your bedroom essentially. A head is going to be your bathroom. A bulkhead is the wall. The deck is the floor. A hatch is the door. A ship is your building. It's going to be interesting, and they may or may not call it barracks depending on how they feel that day. So when you're at ODS, you will more than likely have a roommate. There are a couple of lucky people that did not. Not lucky as in you don't have to deal with anyone, but lucky for a reason that I will mention later. Each of you will have one twin-sized bed. It actually feels smaller than a twin, but it has to be a twin, I think. I don't think they make anything smaller. It's going to come with a pretty terrible set of 2 sheets and an itchy wool blanket and a pillow that is a rock. I highly suggest that you bring your own blanket. I brought a warm blanket because I was there during winter, and my own pillow. There are a couple perks to this, is that you will have a more comfortable sleep at that point, and I would never, ever, ever suggest that anyone does this. But since you have to make your bed every single morning, and there's a lot of steps to making your bed, I would definitely never suggest that you just sleep on top of the rack and use your own pillow and blanket to cover yourself and then just kind of tidy it up in the morning. I would never say that because it is against the rules. It's in the book. It says don't do it, and that would just be wrong of a military officer to suggest that you do that. Especially if you don't have a roommate and you have a whole separate bed that's available at your disposal, but it's not, because it's not. Don't do it. If you get caught, you're going to get in trouble. You will also have a desk and a wall locker in there. Your desk does not lock. The drawers beneath your bed do not lock, but the wall locker will lock. You need to make sure that you have one of those little kind of locks, and make sure it's always set to 0. That is one of the rules. They will make sure you know what the rules are. When you walk in, there's going to be a handbook on exactly how they want you to maintain your room at all times, and just make sure you follow that. It's going to be a little bit weird if you went to boot camp because it's very, very different, but just make sure you follow the book. They have an example room, which I did not know until the very end of ODS, and it's down the hallway, or it could be on a different floor depending on when you get there. So just make sure you find that example room. If you have not heard of it, maybe ask around. If none of your shipmates know, then go ahead and talk to your teaching team about it, and they'll lead you in the right direction because they want your room to look good too, but make sure you do it respectfully. So you will have room inspections happen really randomly while you're there. Our senior chief liked to run around and do his room inspections, and anything that was messed up, he would make sure you knew. If your shoes were not perfectly aligned with the top of the wall locker, he'd throw them across the room. If your bed was not perfectly made, he would flip them, or he'd just do specific corners that were kind of messed up. I'm not gonna lie, it's very, very difficult to make your room look good. Every single morning, my roommate and I spent about 30 minutes at least making sure that our room was good looking. So just kind of prepare to be able to give that time in the morning. Don't think you're just gonna roll out of bed and then go straight to PT. No, you're gonna roll out of bed, clean your room, come back, change after PT, clean your room again because it's sweat, and then pray to God that it does not get flipped. Your actual room inspection will happen during your dress uniform inspection. You will be standing there thinking that you are solid, and then all of a sudden, for us, our senior chief walked by and he had this face. He had this face. I can't really make it, but he looked like he was really angry at the world. And he just stormed past us, and all of a sudden we just heard our room just being ransacked. Just be prepared for that, and don't when you're staying there, you're more than likely you're either at a tent or parade roast. Don't be how's he going back there? Don't do that. So when you go to the head, it's going to be down the hall. More than likely, you're going to be one of 2 hallways on the 4th floor of King Hall, and then you're either going to turn right or left. Yeah, no, whatever. And there's going to be a male head and a female head. Sometimes they'll let you use the 3rd floor head, but just don't count on it. And inside the head, there's about 8 showers, and these showers are individual stalls with a little sliding curtain in front of each of them, so not the best privacy, but definitely a lot better than trying to shove 44 females into one shower in boot camp, am I right? And there's about 18 toilets, and they actually have stalls. And I know that might not sound crazy to you new ascensions, but for us boot campers, that's kind of a big deal. So, unless things have changed. Have they? So yeah, other than that, just kind of think about your roommate. Think about like, hey, do I smell bad? Like my roommate and I were constantly checking with each other like, hey, if I smell bad, you make sure you tell me and I will make sure I clean myself. Or if you think that my side of the room is messy, you just let me know. Or like honestly, we cleaned each other's side of the room. Like the best thing you could do is be good friends with your roommate. It's 5 weeks, you could do it. And when you're in your room, just make sure that your door is always open except for after 2200 when you have the right to close it and you have the right to hop into bed. You don't have the right before that. So just no early bedtime for you. Well, I hope that the information that I provided was useful. If you guys have any questions, just let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you're interested, you can follow us on Instagram at Jess and Jakii to see our daily life and all the other fun stuff that we do. Okay, bye.